Good afternoon, AILA. It is a true honor to stand with you here in San Diego at our 2026 annual conference. And it's especially meaningful to do so at this moment in my AILA journey as I prepare to become AILA President on January 1st, 2027. When I thought about what I wanted to share with you today, I realized it was not a list of titles or milestones. I could easily spend all my allotted time naming the people who have helped me, taught me, and lifted me up, especially when things felt difficult in our work, in the world around us, and in my own life during times of profound loss and immeasurable grief. Instead, I wanted to share my story, my path as a U.S. immigration lawyer for nearly 3 decades, and my path as a member of AILA. Because for me, those paths have always been intertwined. They have grown together, they have shaped me. I also want to speak directly to anyone in this room who has ever wondered where there is truly a place for them in this association. To anyone who has felt unseen in a room full of people who seem to know more than you. To anyone who has looked around and thought, maybe this isn't where I belong. I want you to know, I see you. And in many ways, I was you. Early in my career, I was incredibly shy. Public speaking terrified me, and I was afraid to put myself forward. Even with remarkable mentors and strong role models around me, especially the many women leaders I admired across AILA, I was still afraid. I remember my first appearances in immigration court, heart racing, worried I wouldn't remember the law or be able to speak up, fully aware that my words could change a life and that I carry the privilege and responsibility of representing the person sitting next to me. I remember attending my early AILA conferences, sitting quietly in the audience, wondering whether I would ever be able to speak with the knowledge and confidence I saw around me. Walking into rooms where everyone seemed more experienced and definitely not afraid to speak up, that was intimidating. And if I'm honest, sometimes it still is. But over time, something shifted. Not because the fear disappeared, it didn't. What changed was my understanding of what fear meant. I learned that fear didn't mean I wasn't capable. It meant I cared. So I pushed myself to do the things that scared me. And I said yes before I fully felt ready. I learned how to prepare and how to show up, even when I was nervous. And through all those years, I had a ritual. Before every court appearance, before every panel presentation, before every major AILA event, I would call my dad. Even years into my career, I would call him and ask him to wish me luck. And every time he would say, "Lex, you don't need me to wish you good luck." And every time I would say, "I know, but do it anyway." He never refused. He always made time, even in the midst of an incredibly busy day as a trusted accountant, advisor, and mentor. My dad passed away in late December 2018, and while he is not here to see this moment or to see me prepare to serve as AILA President, I can still hear his voice. Now, when I walk into rooms like this one, I hear him saying what he always said at the end of those calls. "You don't need me to wish you good luck. You always try to do your best, and that is more than enough." That lesson has stayed with me, not just as a lawyer, but as a leader and as a human. I come to this work as a descendant of immigrants, a New Yorker, the daughter and granddaughter of proud but vigilant Jewish Americans, a woman, a business owner, and an immigration lawyer who has always believed this work matters in the most important way possible. Because immigration law is never about forms, filings, regulations, or policies that change without warning. It's about people. It's about families, futures, safety, and belonging. It's about changing the lives their lives for the better, giving people the very best advice and work you are capable of, and being a steady, reliable presence as they hold on to their lives and dreams they have built here. Over the years, my practice has evolved into complex business and family immigration work, into working with CBP, Department of State, and USCIS to find ways to get to yes in a challenging environment. At the same time, I carry the responsibility of running an immigration law firm along with my law partners that has been in business for over 90 years and supports the staff who rely on it. The only way I've been able to do all of that is by being part of and giving back to the AILA community. AILA became more than a professional association to me. It became a place of growth, a place of mentorship, a place of challenge, and a place of service. AILA taught me that relationships matter, trust matters, preparation matters. And it taught me something else. Being heard is not the same thing as getting your way. Being heard means listening carefully enough to learn something new. It means making space for perspectives different from your own. And when agreement isn't possible, it means disagreeing with respect and continuing to work together. None of the roles I have taken on happened because I felt fully ready. They happened because mentors saw something in me before I fully saw it in myself. Because I kept showing up. Because people encouraged me. Because people trusted me. And because I've kept raising my hand, and even when it felt intimidating. That belief created an obligation, one I carry with gratitude, to do the same for others. That is one of the deepest reasons I care so much about AILA. This association gave me mentors, it gave me peers, it gave me lifelong friends, it gave me a place to learn, contribute, and grow. And I want you and every member of AILA to feel the same sense of possibility. AILA is a big tent, much bigger now than when I joined in 1998. That is one of our greatest strengths. We bring together lawyers from different practice areas, chapters, generations, identities, and lived experiences. But it also means that sometimes people can feel overlooked. Sometimes people feel that if they're not already connected, already visible, already confident, that there may not be a place for them. So, trust me, there is. There is a place for the person who feels ready now, and there's a place for the person still gathering the courage to begin. Because if I learned anything in 3 decades, it's this. Courage is rarely a grand gesture. More often, it's a quiet decision to attend the meeting, to raise your hand, to ask a question, to introduce yourself, to speak, even when staying quiet feels easier. Those choices matter. They build a career, they build relationships, they build leaders, they build a life, and they build a community. I also believe deeply that leadership in AILA must be rooted in respect. We will not see every issue the same way, and we never will. In an association as broad and vibrant as ours, disagreement is not a flaw. It's inevitable. The question is, how do we navigate it? Will we remain curious? Will we make room for multiple viewpoints? Will we choose engagement over assumption and respect over accusation? Will we listen as carefully as we advocate? Those choices matter too. As I look ahead to serving as AILA President, I do so with profound gratitude and a deep sense of responsibility. No one arrives in a role like this alone. We arrive because others taught us, trusted us, encouraged us, and challenged us to grow. And the greatest honor of leadership is the opportunity to give something back to the community that helped shape you. I stand here today because I love this work enough to keep going, because I love this community enough to serve it, and because others believed in me along the way. I cannot promise that I will never make mistakes or that I will never disappoint, but I can promise this: I will do my very best to listen, to learn, and to keep showing up with integrity and care. As I prepare to step into this next chapter, I do so with deep appreciation and with clarity about what I carry forward. I wish my dad was here to see this moment, but I can still hear his voice reminding me, you don't need to be wished good luck, just do your best, and that's enough. That is the spirit I will carry forward as I prepare to serve as AILA President, to lead with humility, to listen with respect, to create space for others, and to serve with purpose. Thank you for all you do, for your clients, for one another, and for this extraordinary community. Thank you for letting me share my journey, and thank you for continuing to make AILA a place where courage is welcomed, connection is built, and service is honored. That is the AILA I believe in, and that is the AILA I will work every day to serve. Thank you.